this country had kept up with executive pay, the average worker would now be making over $1 million a year, and the minimum wage would be $171 an hour. What productivity has done, but we don't have it. Because all that wealth we create doesn't get to us. They call it trickle-down economics. They pump all the wealth to the top and it's supposed to trickle down, but it never does. Never does. What do you call a country whose principal exports are wood pulp and scrap metal, whose principal imports are manufactured goods, and whose fastest growing industry is building and operating private prisons? A third world country, right? Yeah! That's what we have become. In its drive to protect the far-flung financial interests of multinational corporations, our government has abandoned our principles and fought wars of aggression against small countries. It has overthrown popularly elected leaders and installed puppet dictators who sell out their own people to the global robber barons. It has squandered the goodwill purchased by the blood of our youth in the defense of democracy in World Wars I and II. In its unilateralist arrogance, it has abandoned the ideals championed by our forebears who founded the United Nations. It has violated the legal framework established by our greatest generation at Nuremberg. And in its phony war against the terrorists its own policies have created, our government has overturned the constitutional protections given us by our founding fathers in the Bill of Rights. In its drive toward a corporate New World Order, it has sold out our workers, our families, our environment, our children's futures, and the American dream. And when it needs an excuse for another corporate war, it kills 3,000 of our own citizens on 9/11. What went wrong? Why are our workers paid such a tiny percentage of their true worth? Why are we the only nation without a national health program? Why are our high school graduates 2 years behind their counterparts in other countries? Why are we hated by so many around the world? Why do we have hundreds of thousands of troops patrolling foreign lands and supporting foreign dictators? What's going on? The answer is, we have lost our republic. Legislators no longer represent the people who elect them, but the corporations who finance them. They answer not to their constituents, but to the K Street lobbyists who line their pockets and fill their campaign coffers. In return, these government officials have undone decades of hard-fought victories against the robber barons of the 19th century. For years now, through both political parties, by the way, the world's billionaires have directed U.S. policy for their own personal profit. This has included agreements like NAFTA, CAFTA, and the WTO, falsely portrayed as supporting free trade, but in reality promoting free investment, overturning U.S. laws and putting American workers in competition with those in the third world. It has also resulted in a series of wars, from Iraq to Bosnia to Kosovo to Afghanistan to Iraq again. Wars which are never in the interest of those fighting them or of the families left behind. Wars which only serve the insatiable greed of the global investor class. And still they don't have enough. So they bring us to 9/11. We now have a government which serves the interests of giant agribusiness, giant pharmaceutical companies, giant insurance companies, giant weapons manufacturers, giant oil companies, and all the other global robber barons of the 21st century. Losing out are the rest of us. Increasing numbers of American families in poverty, even those who work. Immigrants working for slave wages. Small businesses forced into bankruptcy. Seniors unable to afford their medications, especially after Part D for disaster. Disappearing family farmers. What's left of a dwindling middle class, and especially our brave young men and women sent around the world to kill Arabs for the oil companies. Corporate power, what Alex calls the elite. Power over our political system, over the media, and over most aspects of our lives is the greatest danger we face today. Curtailing this power and restoring it to we the people is our greatest challenge. Now, those of us who dedicate our lives to truth, peace, economic justice, and environmental preservation can make little progress in our struggles so long as ultimate power is in the hands of those who profit from deceit, war, poverty, and pollution. Those are the ones who brought us 9/11 and who want to control every aspect of our lives. We must reassert the sovereignty of we the people